morning, so it's Monday 20th of May down on the Devon allotment, and time for a quick plot update, show you what I'm planting, show you what I've achieved so far. So I'm just going to start behind you, so let me just turn you around. So these are all the plants I've brought down this afternoon. So, so we've got blotty beans here, which amazingly 100% germination. 2 per pot, so I think there's 16 there in total. Sweet corn ready to go out. This is celeriac. Then we've got some butternut squash here, more sweet corn in there. A couple of little bargains I got from the garden centre, well, home base, don't know whether you can see that, 60p. And we've got beetroot and some spring onions there. These are dwarf multi-headed sunflowers. Those are yellow torch. They're all ready to plant out. We've got some cucumbers down here. Can't remember the variety, but as you can see they're desperate to go out. Just a few cosmos that I brought down, and some French beans, which I've got a few more at home. That's just the first lot really that need to go out. So that's what I'm going to be planting today. Now, starting over here with the herb bed. Oh, let me show you my potatoes. So these are my first earlies. These are Aran Pilot. These were actually given to me by a friend who had some left over, so I just chucked them in this bag. As you can see, it's quite a deep bag, and they're about 2/3 the way down. And then I've just topped them off with straw, and they're just starting to poke their little heads out. Now, they did get a little bit frosted because we had that sudden frost. But they, as you can see, they've recovered pretty well. So, and I did give them a good watering before I put the hay on. So these are my herb bed and comfrey, which is flowering. I've taken one lot. I'm going to be taking another lot soon. In here, amongst the weeds, there are actually some flowers. These have actually moved recently. This is a scabious. In fact, that one's better. They were from further up, which I showed you last month, and I've moved them. This is one of my perennial kales. This one is Coil. It's German anyway. And that's a low growing, that's some cleavers there. That's a low growing kale, which is doing well. Perennial kale, supposedly 8 to 10 years. Woohoo! Chives, sunflowers in there. As I said, lots of weeds, but we'll ignore the weeds. Ignore the weeds. Some calendula, which is self-seeded everywhere. This is Dorberton's variegated kale. Again, this is newly planted, and again 8 to 10 years on that one. More of the scabious, fennel, chives. Most of this you've seen before. Gladioli coming up. So I planted them not so long ago, so they all seem to be coming up. And also transferred some of the self-seeded nasturtium, so they're coming up as well. Horseradish, which looks like it's about to flower. More gladioli here. As I said, quite a lot of weeds that want weeding, but that's fine. Rosemary, all sorts of other things in there. And for some reason, rhubarb not doing very well, but hey, maybe it'll pick up. You never know. So over here we've got mixtures of things. So we've got some spring onions, beetroot. Oh, come on camera. Beetroot in here, radish, which are sort of bulking up a little bit. Some of you are going to be able to see that. They're all radish in there. More spring onions. Lots of weeds. The weeds have gone mad. What else is in here? Oh, leeks. Don't think I planted these last time. They're looking a bit pathetic at the moment. I don't even know if you can see them. But they're fine. They're all still standing up, which is something. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in each row. So 15 leeks, and the celeriac's going to go in here once I've hoed it. So carrots never came up. So I've resown them, so we'll see what happens. Parsnips doing really well. They're coming on leaps and bounds. Again, shame about the weeds. Shallots doing quite well, apart from this one. which is looking a bit pathetic, but all the rest are looking really good. Obviously this all wants dealing with. This is going to be where the sweet corn's going, and the climbing beans and the butternut squash, and I've put a load of fresh compost in. This plant here is going to be moved at some point because it's taking up too much valuable growing space. It's pretty, but I'm going to have to move that. Over here is potatoes, which are all doing really well. Spinach, which some of it are thinned and moved to here, so this is spinach along here and then going down there, and this is the rest of the spinach, which I'm going to crop today and take that home. And then over here I've got some lettuce, which is, again, it's been a bit dwarfed by the nasturtium and the weeds, but it's doing pretty well. And I put these metal hoops up last time I was down here, just to give the net a bit of extra support. So that's doing pretty good. And then, oh, and we put the strawberry cage up last time we were here, and the strawberries all seem to have taken, apart from, again, the ones down this end, which are not looking so clever, but I can always replace them. But the rest of them are looking really good in there, so that's good. And then under here is where I've got, oh, that's been pulled off. Oh, let's move that out of the way. So under here is the giant red mustard, which is delicious. It's a cut and come again. If you like sort of spicy, peppery leaves, that's really nice in a salad. And some salad bowl. And again, all of this I'm going to be cutting today and taking some home. Plenty of weeds. The weeds never stop growing. This path I finally managed to finish. So this path is pretty good now. And then this bit here, I'm actually going to turn into a flower bed. So, because I do like my flowers, and I haven't got a lot of room, so flowers are going to go in here. Bolotti beans are going to go along the bean sticks, and then we've got landcress in there, which is obviously the same as watercress, but you don't need water to grow it, so that's growing along there. And I probably won't bother to thin it. I mean, you saw with the spinach up there, oh, come on, but it's grown perfectly well, and I haven't thinned it, so I'll probably leave the landcress the same. Then the lettuce is Little Gem, and I only transplanted them less than a week ago, I think, so they're doing really well. I'm really pleased with them. This is this stuff. This is Slug Stop. It's organic wool pellets, and it's biodegradable, and it also works as a bit of a mulch. And I have to say, it seems to be doing really, really well. And these are my, oh, come on camera, courgettes, which have got flowers on them. So that's pretty good. And then more beetroot. As you can see, we've got a thing about beetroot. So I've got some little clumps of beetroot here. And then this is, oh, come on camera, more spinach. But this is the Perpetual Spinach, I think. Or maybe it's not, maybe it's just the ordinary spinach. Honestly, I cannot remember. But again, it all wants, as you can see, it wants weeding. Everything constantly wants weeding. And as I said, the rest of courgettes are looking okay. Might give them a bit of a weed and a feed today. Weed and a feed. And then along here is going to go the cucumbers. I've got 4, which is far too many, but I hate to throw plants away, so they'll all go in there. And then in here, which I think is just coming up, I don't know if you can see that in there, and want some water, I know that much, but look, if I zoom in, see that? That is Oca, O-C-A, it's New Zealand Yams. This one's called Strawberries and Cream, which means the tubers are red and white, basically. They grow to about the same size as a Jerusalem artichoke, but I personally don't like Jerusalem artichokes. But I'm hoping I'm going to like these, and I got them really cheap at the garden centre. They were like £1.50 or something. So this one is going to go in the ground, and then I've got 3 more at home in big pots, so I'm going to also try them in big pots. And let me just spin you around. Okay, so apparently the foliage is also edible, and it tastes a bit like sorrel, with that sort of lemony taste, so fingers crossed for that. So let me get on and do a bit of work, and if I get time later, oh, my nose is running, perils of hay fever, oh dear. If I get time later on, there's not too many people around, because I'm always a bit self-conscious filming up here, because as you can see it's quite open. Then I'll do a bit of filming, otherwise I won't. But anyway, we'll see. I'll see you later. Bye. Okay, so what did we get done? 3 hours later. So Butternut beans are in, looking a bit sad. There's like half a row in there, and then there'll be another half a row going in about a week's time. Spotted this just now when I was putting some mulch under here. Got a little female courgette coming there. That's pretty good. Cucumbers are in. As I said, probably don't need 4 cucumbers, but they're in, and they got 2 chances, and dum-de-dum-de-dum. So up here the celeriac's in, so there's 12 plants in there. So basically this bed pretty much full now, just a case of maybe interplanting with a few bits and bobs. And then up here I've got a row of sunflowers, yellow torch, a few climbing beans and the sweet corn. And at the moment I've just done like half a bed. So, and the butternut squash is in somewhere there. These are bush butternut squash, they don't get huge. So there's one there, one up there, and one up there. And then I've got that end end, which I might buy some stuff, or I might plant something different up there. I haven't decided yet. But there you go. Oh, and in the end it didn't rain, but it's muggy. Very muggy. Okay. That's it from me. See you all soon.